yesterday, okay? NYC gunman, ID'd as Shane Tamura, after deadly shooting that killed NYPD officer. Shane Tamura, 27-year-old Las Vegas man with a documented mental health history, was identified as a gunman who stormed 345 Park Avenue on Monday evening, killing 4 people, including NYPD officer Darumal Islam, and wounding 1 before killing himself. NYPD Commissioner Jessica Tisch said Tamura entered the skyscraper at 6:30 p.m., shot Islam, a woman behind a pillar, and a security guard in the lobby, then killed 1 more on the 33rd floor. Tamura, who worked as a Vegas casino security guard, double-parked a vehicle with Nevada plates and carried a Palmetto State Armory AR-15 rifle per photos obtained by the Post. Rob, do you have a clip to play on this? You got a couple of them.
I do.
Go for it.
You know what he looks like. Sunglasses, mustache, male, possibly white. And...
Was that it?
Possibly white?
Possibly.
Oh, possibly white.
Oh, this
Got
is
it.
the clip.
Did she really say possibly white?
Yeah.
Yes.
And he's going
Go back again. Go back to that.
they do know what he looks like. Sunglasses, mustache, male, possibly white. And...
Okay.
Possibly.
All right, so go to the next one. Go to the next one. I mean, look,
Who
if
he
you
is?
call me possibly white, I'm Middle Eastern, guys. Okay, but go ahead. Go play this clip.
They do not know who he is. They know he is a male, possibly white. He's wearing sunglasses. He appears to have a mustache. And that picture has been distributed to every police officer in New York City, particularly has been sent to the phones of the search teams inside that building, because whenever they encounter a group of people, the first thing they have to figure out is that individual among these people hiding among victims or pretending to be an office worker? Because one thing you don't want to have happen is to have this kind of cordon where you're trying to evacuate people in groups as you can get them.
Rob, you can pause it. Do you have the clip of him walking with the AR-15? Do you know which one I'm talking? There's a clip right there. If you can go to that one. No, one more. So that's him. He just walks up.
Yeah.
You mean the camera doesn't pick that up? He just walks up. So, Scott, what happened here? What happened with the shooting?
Well, it sounds like from what I've read this morning, this guy drove all the way across the country, has some kind of mental illness, and decided to walk in there. I think the NFL is in there. He used to be a football player. And so, and I read maybe there's a suicide note that he left as well. So it's obviously a tragic situation. And to me, for New York, I spend a lot of time, I don't live there, I live in Kentucky, but I spend a lot of time there. And to me, it's a story about the NYPD. And obviously we had an officer here, and they're about to have a mayor's race. They're about to elect somebody in New York City who has said, we don't need an investigation to know that the NYPD is racist, anti-queer, and a major threat to public safety. What we need to do is defund the NYPD. So
You're talking about Mamdani.
I'm talking about Mamdani.
Yeah.
Tragic day. People are dead. The police show up and put themselves in harm's way. And there is the leading candidate for mayor. That's what they think about the NYPD. So I think it's a day to mourn the victims, and it's a day for New York to think about its future. Because in Mamdani's worldview, the police are the problem, not the shooter, not the people who are walking in and committing the violence. He says violence is just sort of a made-up construct anyway. And so my view is, for New Yorkers, I would think long and hard about what kind of mayor you want when these kinds of people exist and these kinds of things happen. Do you want somebody who hates the police this much?
Question is, how could this have been prevented? Right? How could this have been prevented? Tom, your thoughts on this? Could this have been prevented? The guy's literally walking with an AR-15. How do you not spot him? Where's the security? Look at that. He doesn't look like he's running. He looks like he's strolling, right?
He also doesn't look white.
Yeah.
The
Possibly
furthest,
white.
possibly.
Yeah, a couple things here, and I'll go straight to your question. Pat, you and I have been to many, many insurance companies, reinsurance companies, and large businesses, investment firms in New York. And it shocks me that it's only about 50-50. When you go into the front lobby, there is actually security where you have to check in. Who are you going to see? Oh, we're going to go up to the 30th floor, and we're going to see this company. Great. Let me see an ID. Let me take a picture of you. That's only about half the time. The other half the time, you have usually a person in a blazer that simply says, oh, it's 30th floor. You'll go to the second elevator bank.
Right.
And it really shocks me how that in New York, they haven't hardened the target, as they say. Harden the target through multiple perimeters of security. How does he, and I'm sure we'll find out, walk in and get into an elevator and then get up to the 30th
But
floor?
Tom, just can you do me a favor, Rob? Zoom in that picture. How many people? There's a guy to his left.
Yep.
To his right.
Yeah,
Count the number of people. Go back right behind him. These are the people he walked past. Two over there. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 to the left. How does he keep going?
And mind you,
12,
Pat,
13.
Imagine he hasn't started. I just from a military whatever. He doesn't look like he's shot. He hasn't shot yet. He's just strolling.
Vinny, it doesn't
and
matter.
not paying
New
attention.
York is a state where you can't have guns. We one time had an RV we bought, and I lived in it for 30 days. We went from LA to Miami to Toronto, back to San Francisco, back to LA. When we went to New York, we're going through the what do you call it? The security checkpoint to go to Toronto customs. Guy comes in. He says, "You guys got any guns?" I said, "Yes. We have a 9mm and we have a shotgun." "You guys have a 9mm and a shotgun?" "Yes." My son is with me. Tico's 2.5 years old. So we walk through the border and we go to Toronto. We turn around, we come back. One of the guys who you know very well, he was there with us last night, by the way.
Yep.
Okay, you know who I'm
I know
talking
exactly
about.
what you're talking about.
When we come back, they got guns pointed at the RV. We open the door. We said, "What are you doing?" "Let me see those guns." "Whose shotgun is it?" I said, "The shotgun's mine." "Whose gun is it?" "The gun is the other guy's." The other guy got arrested, went to jail in Buffalo. So you're a state that's against this behavior. Like if in Texas you walk around with something, all right, cool. If in Florida you walk around, if you're in Idaho, this is flipping New York. And it's in broad daylight. How does somebody not say, "Hey, bro, what are you doing? There's a cop. There's a shooter. There's this." How is that reaction not happening? He's not hiding it. You mean to tell me he hid that in his pants and nobody saw when he walked up? How do you hide that thing in your pants? It's not a 9mm. It's not a small little pistol. That's a massive weapon he's carrying. No one sees it. No camera detects it. There's too many questions for it. Adam, your thoughts on this story?
So this is the second tragic shooting that has occurred in New York in the last 6 months. When was the Luigi thing? Maybe a little bit longer than that. And the reason that I'm bringing that up is, do you remember what the left did to basically celebrate and honor Luigi Mangione after he killed the United Healthcare CEO, Brian Thompson? They basically gave him a shout out and they did a lookalike contest to basically adorn this person as if he's a hero of the far left. So just keep that in mind when we're talking about the New York mayoral race, Eric Adams potentially, obviously, versus Mamdani. The left wants this. I'm wondering, the far left in New York, who basically brought Mamdani to the forefront of the mayor election, how they feel about something like this. Because when you have a mayor who's a proud communist, socialist, what's the difference, and alleged Islamist, and he's saying defund the police, he's basically saying free everything, how is this going to change the race in New York? That's my number one thing. Because if we know anything in America, this shooting's here today, gone tomorrow. How is this going to change? Because I received multiple text messages from friends in New York. "Hey, are you okay? What's going on?" They said this is going to change the race dramatically. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay, Scott, question for you. New York.
Yeah.
First of all, a lot of people are surprised that a guy like Mamdani is getting the kind of momentum that he is. He just got back from, I think he got married in Uganda. I don't know where he was that he got married. AOC comes and welcomes him and maybe even joins him on the way back, the wedding that took place. Yeah, that's the wedding right there that took place. I want to say they got married in Uganda. Yes. New York, is he getting the momentum that he's getting where he's leading everybody in the polls because the alternatives are not strong? Adams, Andrew, Chris. Is it because New York has just gotten far left? Is it because he is that good and exciting? Is it because the help of AOC and others? Why do you think he has the kind of momentum that he's got?
Well, I think in the primary, he was floated along. It's funny. He pretends. I mean, he's kind of an actor. He's eating rice with his hands. He's playing a character in some ways.
He's doing different accents.
But he comes from a wealthy family, and anyway, he sort of got all these extremely wealthy white liberals excited about his campaign. It's interesting. Cuomo in the primary actually did better among people with lower incomes, minority voters. He did better. white liberals got Mamdani the nomination. So now he's in this situation where he's running against multiple people. So you have a fragmented field, and he's sitting at between 39 and low 40s, but against a fragmented field, that's enough. And so ultimately, I think if you want to beat this guy, they're going to have to decide one alternative. That's the question. If he ends up running against a bunch of other people, he's probably going to win. Now, I agree with you. Will people look at this and say, whoa. We cannot have a mayor who not only wants to defund the police, but clearly hates the police. I mean, it's a dangerous world, and New York City is a magnet for dangerous people. Can you have a mayor who believes what he believes about the police?
Pat, you interviewed Mayor Adams 2 weeks ago, I want to say. And he said, listen, we haven't given New York the opportunity to really hear their voice. Only 9% of New Yorkers voted in the primary, the other 91%. He was also a police officer, I want to say. I think it was.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
What's your takeaway from someone like this, sitting down with Mayor Adams, understanding what Mamdani's talking about?
Well, Mamdani tweeted something, and he said, Officer Islam was one of the 4 people killed in yesterday's horrific shooting, a Bangladeshi immigrant who joined NYPD 4 years ago. He lived in Parkester with his pregnant wife, their 2 young children, and his elderly parents. When he joined the police department, his mother asked him, why would he do this dangerous job? He told her it was to leave behind a legacy with his family. And he has done that and many more. I pray for him, his family, and the honor of the legacy and sacrifice he lives behind. Okay, very nice message that he puts on there. Was the police officer Muslim? I'm curious. Is the Darul Islam Muslim?
Bangladeshi.
I mean, if you got a last name like that,
Islam.
but we had a president, middle name Hussein, and he wasn't Muslim,
yeah.
allegedly.
Well,
So
allegedly he
I wanna,
wasn't.
I want to make sure, yes, he was Muslim. Okay, so would he have done the same thing if the guy wasn't Muslim? I don't know. We don't know that. Going back to Mayor Adams.
Yeah.
The challenge with me was when I sat down with Mayor Adams. I was talking about this with a couple guys yesterday at the cigar lounge. I don't know why he didn't open up. You come to a show like this, you have an audience that you can talk to from maybe a side that you're not a part of. Talk to them. Don't give the same one-liners you're giving 7 times. Talk to me. Speak to me. You sit with somebody where sometimes in sale, you teach somebody all the objections, okay? Is this a good time to buy a property? Well, if you're thinking about buying a property for 10 years, there's never a bad time to buy a property. So wouldn't you agree that this is a good time to, okay, you sound, what do you call it? Like you're mechanical, like the way you're giving your answer,
Robotic.
right? Robotic, yeah. So do you think about, my wife and I, should we sell our home right now or should we wait till the interest rates lower because maybe we can make an additional $200,000? Well, you never know what's going to happen if, God forbid, a hurricane season comes and your property value could drop 30%. It's all scripted. So it's tough to relate somebody that's constantly speaking in a scripted way, scripted fashion. Having said that, it is still early. The voting's not going to be till November. I don't know if this is going to be a big reason of New Yorkers are going to flip to the other side or not. I don't know. I don't know if New Yorkers are going to sit there because in order for this to happen, Scott, my opinion, someone's got to capitalize and tell the story the right way. Who has in the last 24 hours? Has Scott gone viral? Has Andrew gone viral? Has Chris gone viral? Whose story have we been following that's gone viral? Who is telling us this perspective in a way in New York where we're saying, oh, he's got a good point. I don't know about any of it. I'm in this space. I follow some of this stuff. I haven't heard anybody run with it. Flip this. If the story was the other way, how quickly would the left have used a story like this? Like this, they're on top of it.
If it was the other way?
Yeah,
For sure, they would double down on this.
in terms of skill set in this primary, Mamdani clearly gets the new
By a mile.
communications ecosystem.
Yes.
I mean, if you saw anything Cuomo did in the primary, even since then, I mean, it is like straight out of the 1980s political playbook, mechanical, scripted, low tech, and so one of the disadvantages of all of his opponents is they suck at this right now.
Yeah.
And they don't really have the expertise. He has used the new communications ecosystem to his advantage. Now, you read his statement, fine. My view is the real Mamdani is what he has been saying on social media for years. I interviewed on my radio show last week a reporter named Olivia Reingold from the Free Press. She read all 16,000 of his
she's incredible.
tweets.
Yeah, I saw her.
She said,
Yeah.
do you believe he's radical? Believe me, I read his tweets. The man is a radical. He is a committed socialist. He does not believe in private property. He really doesn't like the police. I mean, you should read her article in the Free Press. She read every single thing he's ever written. The truest thing about this man is that he's a socialist who hates the police and he hates private property. whatever he puts out now in the heart of a campaign, this is not real. Of course you got to say what he said today. That's what a campaign would do. Who's the real person inside? I think New York knows. I think they know, and they're going to find out here. Hopefully.
I hope you're right. I hope you're right, and they get after it. Go ahead, Tom.
There's some fast numbers. New York, this is a terrible tragedy. The officer that was lost, Wesley LePatner, who is with Blackstone Real Estate Trust. She was CEO there. The horrible human loss here that is the front page. On the second page, there is a case study in New York that you need to pay attention to, and it's Portland, Oregon. Portland wanted to defund the police. They backed off the police. They created this police-free zone. Remember, they had a word for it, or a zone word for it. Yeah, downtown.
They also decriminalized all drugs.
Correct. And the mayor moved out of the city of Portland and was living far out because his door was vandalized. So he said, wow, this is kind of nerve-wracking. So he and his family went out. That's what started it. Now then, New York, listen clearly. On May 19th, not covered in the national media, not covered, there was polling that was done in Portland, and they, ready for this? 69% of voters polled wanted a ballot initiative to double the size of the Portland police as it is today. 69% want to see it doubled. Why? Because defund didn't work and it's unsafe. And those polling went across party lines and across socioeconomic lines. So New York, the case study is out there. Portland did defund things. They did kowtow to this whole mechanism that was there. And you know what they got? They got a house of horrors, and right now...
The question is, Tom, there's so many different stories of socialism, of not working, and it keeps reappearing itself by young 25, 30, 33-year-olds who are selling this romanticizing socialism, how amazing it could be, how terrible cops are, all these other things. Vinny, where are you at with this?
Well, first of all, if Mamdani was in charge, no cops would have showed up. The response for the NYPD was amazing. They were jumping over cars and bushes to try to get to this guy, and he took his own life. And allegedly, he shot himself in the chest so his brain could be saved for studying because he says he had CTE, football. But he was in high school football. That being said, but if Mamdani was the mayor, there'd be less cops because he wants to hire social workers. People would have been there hey, think about your feelings as you're shooting 6, 7 people. Think about it. But I think one thing that we kind of just brushed over, and maybe Scott, you could kind of help us because you're there. CNN made sure that they said the shooter was possibly white before any facts were confirmed. Okay, they could have waited, but they didn't. And because add possibly white, they chose to do that and I think this is my opinion. Maybe you guys can all help me out because it primes the audience to view the story through a specific racial lens that aligns with their narrative, pushing America this is the violence of America. It's always white. They could have said possibly black. If it was, they would have waited, but they go to possibly white. Why? Because Scott, I see this happening all the time. They always jump to that narrative. White.
What do you think about that, Scott?
And if it's not, sorry, Pat, and if it's not, and they know that he's definitely not, if it's a Muslim guy or if it's a black guy, and they just don't want to say it, they always go to the white narrative. Why is that?
Well, I think in a chaotic news story, details can change really quickly. I'm not on the news gathering side, I should just say, and I wasn't there last night. But obviously, he's not white, and
by a long shot.
And so there is a danger in reporting even possible details before you really have a handle on it. And obviously, in a chaotic situation like this,
once a year we host a conference called the Vol Conference. We're expecting nearly 12,000 people here at the event. Rob, you can play the clip and just turn off the audio while I'm going through it. And we have special guest speakers that will be there this year. You already know Tony Robbins. If you've never seen Tony Robbins live, you got to do whatever you can to come to this event. He's going to be speaking for a couple hours and doing a Q&A. And then we have Martha Stewart. We were able to get Martha Stewart to agree to come out, the first original influencer that became a billionaire in 99. She's going to share her tips on what she did. She's got a documentary that came out. Everybody I see, the ladies are like, "Oh my God, did you watch the documentary?" This is your chance to get a chance to have an opportunity to meet her. And then David Falk, Michael Jordan's agent, who did all those big deals, will be at the Vol Conference. 3 days, 200-page manual we'll go through together. Best place for networking. Bring your spouse, bring your business partner. If you haven't yet registered, go to thevaultconference.com or that QR code right there. Get registered. Come spend 3.5 days with us. September 8th through the 11th at the Gaylord. And don't tell me you'll do it next year. I'm so tired of 25 years of hearing everybody saying next year, next year, next year. Do it now. Spend 3.5 days with us. We can't wait to see you there.
If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.